Hi Scorpio, here is a general look at your solar chart for half of January and the whole of February 2015. And in what's left of January, there's definitely a theme of making connections and reconnections, and maybe new knowledge coming in, whether that's through formal education or informal, and definitely adding to the database. That would be a good idea at this time. Anything to do with education and just getting out and about, running around more maybe. And it's also to do with vehicles, all kinds of things that move on this earth, mechanically, I guess, but also maybe even horses, and or whatever else, wherever you are. But schedules, plans, itineraries to consider as well, lists, that kind of thing. For all of the signs, though, throughout some of January and February, there is a feeling of uncertainty. Actually, in January, from the beginning of January to about the 18th, there it's, chatty, and communication lines are open and courteous. But there could be a little bit of indecision around, maybe on something, that you've been trying to figure out, trying to ponder, or uncertainty because you haven't had the feedback. But this theme does tend to continue from the middle of January to the 23rd, and that's when you could feel again this slight confusion because things aren't as clear as you'd like them to be, and this can be undermining, if you allow your imagination to run away with you, and this, you mustn't let it do that, because you may find that this thing that you're anticipating or you haven't heard about is going to be different or worse than you thought. But also, to compound this particular little equation here, is the fact that Mercury is retrograde and will be retrograde until the 11th of February. So again, this feeling of hang up, hold up, drumming your fingers on the table over something and still not feeling as though you quite got it right. Maybe it's to do with a communication that you're missing, or maybe miscommunication or crossed wires. Whatever it is, you need to just be a bit more thorough there. Dot the I's, cross the T's, go over something again, possibly it's just delay, it's just having to reschedule, it's having to postpone, it's that kind of thing, all right? And there is also maybe you wondering a little bit, there's a sort of uncertainty about somebody you're in close relationship with in late January, early February. I say literally the first few days. So it's just about a week. And it's from about the last 3 days of January into the first 4-5 days of February, this particular aspect, which is affecting all of the signs. And that will be to do with family matters, that will be to do with a location, a place on the map for you, that will be to do with where you belong and where you should be at this time, right? Okay, so now from the 19th of January to the 19th of February, we've got the Sun focusing onto themes related to family, related to location and place on the map, and what's going on within the neighborhood and within your own backyard, so to speak. You feeling more sensitive, you pondering a little bit there. After the 19th of January, you're turning inwards a bit more, and just maybe having more connection with the mother energy, or just parents in general, and the past and things to do with the past, okay, and having discussions and conversations, maybe long distance, maybe not, about family relationships, the family dynamic, or a certain family member, or property, and physical space, inside, outside, and just feeling a little bit emotional, a little bit touchy there. But then after 11th, Mercury goes direct, and the energy will still be like that until the 19th, but it will unfold more clearly for you. It won't still have absolute, emphatic, decisive clarity, though, I don't think, until March. Okay, so now Venus and Mars are actually in quite a fun place. I call it the house of fun. You know, this is the area which is bright and sunny, where you can reach out and do things which you really enjoy. You can be playful. This is the area of the child. So your inner child can come out to play, or you can be doing leisure pursuits or hobbies, or just get-togethers, which kind of give you this sense of empowerment and sort of in a way can put you center stage, you know. It's also about children, and because Venus is there and Mars at the same time, it's very dynamic with Mars. It's very, you know, having to make decisions to do with these things regarding anything on that list I've just mentioned, but also you get the support. You really do get the, you know, others that enable you in these decisions or in these projects or whatever. You get this feeling of togetherness, of teamwork, okay? So it's not just you alone there with anything going on there. This is also the area of romance and really having sort of romantic, being maybe you know, falling in love with someone or something, or the feeling of that anyway. And that can be, you know, anything at all. It doesn't have to be another human being. And Mars there as well has you being very decisive about what you're going to do about it, so you're not backwards in coming forwards, shall we say. But this is definitely an area of creativity, speculation, performance. So if you've got to promote something, if you've got to beat the drum on something, this is a great time, the first 3 weeks of February, to do that. And then they both move out of there and they move on into the next area, which is to do with the practical side of all of those bright ideas and those creative feelings that you had. However, the sun's already moved into there. The sun moves into there on the 19th, still emphasizing the theme of the maybe the speculation, maybe the creativity, the children, the playfulness, the leisure, the performance orientation. So there's still a link to that, even though Venus and Mars have moved out and moved into the area of, okay, let's roll up our sleeves, get organized and see what we can do about this. This is also the area of health. So for some of you, you'll be rolling up your sleeves to do with a health matter, and that might be your own, or it might be somebody else's. And you will find, again, this theme running through of support, that you hit it off with somebody that you feel is there to facilitate you in a working environment, in a health-related environment. You can socialize with this person. Or even if the problem isn't totally resolved, you enjoyed the contact, and in fact, for some of you, you could make yourself a new friend or make yourself a new partner, you know, or a romantic kind of liaison as well. And it means also that you can again team up, and you do better with, you know, two heads are better than one in this area here. And whatever has to be recovered, repaired, maintained, what skills you have to learn, because it's a great time as well to be taking a course in something. Yeah, very much so, taking a course in something, particularly when Venus and Mars are in that area there, from the 20th and the 21st respectively, and on into March. And the sun, as I say, has gone into the linking you back into the area to do with creativity and children and arts and entertainments for some of you as well. It's a very strong area for arts and entertainments, and at the same time. So even though this is about work, really, and the to-do list and health matters where Venus and Mars are, you still do have the sun in that kind of giggly area, which is empowering. So it's really quite a nice one, that one. And then Saturn has come out of your sign and will be out of your sign until June, late June, and that marks a new cycle of challenges, because wherever Saturn goes, there are challenges in your materialistic area to do with your material security, to do with incomings, outgoings, to do with property, possessions, and the like. And gradually this side of things will come together and take the shape that you want. And you have to take the long view. You really do have to understand that Saturn is a long-term, so long-term things which take a while to come together and for you to construct or to get constructed around you, related to property, related to finances, related also to anything which is to do with your basic stuff of life, and your own talents and how you can make those lucrative, how you can really, really kind of work with those. And you Scorpios born the 25th to the 30th of October, or with 2 to 6 degrees rising, are going to feel that energy the most. And also this planet of stress testing, Saturn, in this area here, she might bring out, you know, the weaknesses in your lifestyle, particularly diet, you know, what you put through your body, or maybe, you know, nearest and dearest. And there's another area that you might be wanting to clean up your act in order to improve health. And you might be researching into that as well and finding out stuff which is maybe a little bit more alternative. Now, Jupiter will be in your area of career and life direction until next August. Now, there should be opportunities coming your way. Really, you know, sometimes with Jupiter, it drops in your lap out of a clear blue sky. There are some uncertainties around, it has to be said, throughout January and February, because you haven't got the feedback you need, you haven't got the total clarity. In fact, in the second half of February, you could feel a bit downhearted, because you... maybe your imagination is just running riot and you are anticipating something that's never going to happen, or it's not going to happen in the way that you're thinking. So try to keep that one under control. Don't allow your imagination or indeed apparent circumstances and conditions according to one side undermine you, pull the rug out from under you. Keep that, you know, go for the T, go for trust, because if you trust in your team, which is behind you all your life, watching your back and trying to work it out in the way that's best for you, so that you can do the learning that you need to do, but at the same time it's not too horrendous, then you know, you need to go to them with this, really. And whether you believe in it, whether you're not, you know, what are you going to lose? You know, what are you going to lose if you do? So this is a time to keep your vibration up, to count your blessings. So thinking, you know, through the day, or looking back at the day when you go to bed at night, okay, what was good about today? Not doing that automatic recorder thing, which is negative self-talk. You know, negative self-talk. And most of it, maybe 99% of it, was what you were, what your fears were, and actually where was the evidence? You know, where was the actual evidence? So try, and if there is the evidence, then try to be realistic. This is a time to be realistic about things in the second half of February, and also to trust. So those two things are funny, you know, because one is a bit ethereal and people would say a bit woo-woo, although I'm a great one for trust and prayer, because they work, and they work in a way which is very subtle. And, you know, you don't hear about them on the main news or anything like that, but they really, really do work. And you are a sign that has huge vision and power with your vision. So if you hold that vision and you trust in it coming out in the way you want, then you can achieve your dreams and just be, but at the same time, you've got to bite the bullet, be realistic. Okay, particularly to do with the area, you know, what is financially doable, or, you know, where do I have to be, or what do I have to be doing to really, really get things to be, like for me to capitalize on my assets, or to work in the most lucrative way. Actually, all other things considered, where do I physically absolutely have to be to make this, because there's an energy of being the supporter with Neptune and of being of service with Neptune, right? And it might be related to health matters. So you just have to, on the one hand, have the trust, and on the other hand, in practical terms, what do I have to be doing here? And get on with doing that, whether for yourself or somebody else. Now, that might not be related to health. It might be related to work. It might be related, to either of them. Okay, so you Scorpios born 25th to the 30th of October, or with 2 to 6 degrees rising, will feel this energy the most this forecast period. And then Jupiter is... well, I've already mentioned Jupiter. Yes, opening new doors for you and helping you to go through into new areas. And some of them will be a surprise. Some of them will be like, well, no, I hadn't thought about that before. And if it's not to do with career matters, it can be to do with your general direction in life. Okay, so something comes along and just starts taking you off in a different direction, whatever it's about. So you can be learning from this, hugely learning from this, and you will slowly come more into alignment with aligning what you feel and want to be and do from the inside with your external reality. This is the gift of Jupiter in this area here. There is a real chance that you can be doing something that you really identify with, okay? And it is to do with teaching. So if you need to be the one who is the pupil and the student, then you need to go for it between now and next August. Or if you are the teacher, you are the guide, then you need to go for that as well. And if you need any more qualifications, get them. And Scorpios born 6th to 12th of November, or with 14 to 19 degrees rising, and feel that energy the most in this forecast period. And that's it for January, February 2015. Listen to your moon sign or your rising sign, and it can add to what I've said here, or kind of balance it out. And also, this is all written up on my website, and there might be a little bit more on my website than I've spoken to you about here in some areas. And I'll see you the next time.